All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into just pure, unadulterated existential dread. So, picture this. You're standing outside, just going about your normal day, and suddenly you realize the very foundation of the earth beneath your feet is deeply, irreparably broken. Well, that's exactly what happens in the source material we're looking at today. We're exploring an incredibly vivid, honestly terrifying account of Noah, and this is way before the famous flood, by the way, experiencing an absolute panic attack about the end of the world. The text captures this moment of sheer, visceral terror, and we're going to unpack exactly what he saw, what he was so afraid of, and the really shocking reasons behind this ancient apocalypse.
Hear me, hear me, hear me. The text literally drops us right in the dead center of Noah's panic. He travels all the way to the very ends of the earth just to scream this desperate plea to his grandfather, Enoch, in this incredibly bitter voice. He yells it 3 times. Now, this isn't some quiet, reflective moment of prayer, right? This is a man who is utterly, hopelessly terrified by what is happening around him, and he is frantically seeking answers from the one single person he believes can actually help him.
So, what exactly is causing all this panic? Well, the text says Noah actually saw that the earth was curved, and he instantly knew its destruction was near. I mean, can you even imagine that? He is quite literally watching the world warp and distort right before his very eyes. It's this deeply physical, undeniable wrongness that sends him running on this frantic journey to find Enoch. To Noah, the apocalypse isn't just some abstract concept or a warning. It is a bizarre, surreal, physical reality happening right in front of him.
Which brings us to the core mystery of this whole text. Noah asks his grandfather a pretty wild question. Why is the earth so tired out and shaken? And then he immediately begs, "May I not be destroyed with it?" You see, the earth isn't just acting a little strange. It's exhausted, it's trembling. And Noah's terrified he's going to go down with the ship. He desperately wants to know what is shaking the planet to its absolute core, and far more importantly, he wants to know how to survive it.
And then, as if the universe is directly answering his fear, things escalate immediately. Right after Noah asks his question, boom, a massive great trembling hits the earth, followed by this mysterious, booming voice from heaven. The sensory overload of this exact moment is so intense, so overwhelmingly terrifying, that Noah just totally collapses. He falls completely flat on his face in the dirt. The apocalypse is actively kicking off right on top of him. But right here, the tone completely shifts. Enoch, his grandfather, finally makes his entrance. And while Noah is literally panicking face down on the ground, Enoch just calmly stands beside him and asks, "Why dost thou so bitterly and lamentingly cry to me?" The contrast is absolutely amazing. Enoch knows exactly what is happening. He is totally unfazed by the trembling planet, and he's getting ready to pull back the curtain and explain exactly why the earth is breaking apart.
And Enoch doesn't sugarcoat it, not even a little. He reveals that a command has already come from before the presence of the Lord, ruling over all those who dwell on the earth. The verdict is already in. Their end is at hand. Now, this is crucial. This isn't a warning about what might happen if people don't change their ways. No, it's a statement of what is already in motion. That shaking earth that completely terrified Noah? It's just the physical symptom of a finalized divine judgment.
So Enoch rattles off the exact shocking crimes that doomed humanity. It turns out the people of Earth learned things they were never, ever supposed to know. The literal secrets of the angels. We're talking about the violence of the Satans, powers of secrecy, and these dark practices of sorcery and fascination. But look at that last revelation. Tucked right in there alongside all this supernatural dark magic is the physical act of making metal images of the whole earth. The text actually treats this ancient practice as literal, world-ending magic.
Okay, this is where it gets incredibly wild. The text has this intense, hyper-specific fixation on metallurgy. Now, to us today, working with metal is just basic engineering, right? It's literally how we build our entire modern world. But to this ancient author, it was a terrifying, forbidden technology. Knowing how to mine and manipulate these elements wasn't seen as human progress at all. It was viewed as a stolen, incredibly dark secret. A secret so heavy and so deeply corrupting that the earth itself is literally shaking apart just from the weight of it. Enoch even breaks down this completely bizarre mythological contrast in how different metals are actually formed. Silver and soft metals, well, they just come from the dust of the earth. Simple enough. But lead and zinc? The text claims they aren't produced like the others at all. They come out of a literal fountain guarded by an angel. an angel that the text specifically describes as excellent. It paints this unbelievably vivid, supernatural picture that proves to Noah exactly why manipulating these specific elements was seen as violently meddling with highly guarded, divine secrets.
Then Enoch essentially pulls Noah up by the hand and delivers the really hard truth. He tells Noah that he personally asked the Lord of the spirits about the shaking of the earth, and the verdict is final. The judgment is completed on account of humanity's injustice. Simply because they played with this forbidden knowledge, they are doomed. The text makes it terrifyingly clear, for those who dwell on the earth and participated in these secrets, there will be absolutely no place of refuge to eternity. It is game over.
And you know, there is this really dark, tragic irony in all of this. Enoch points out that in humanity's incredibly greedy pursuit of all this forbidden knowledge, they actually searched out the months and learned that the earth would be destroyed. Basically, by stealing the secrets of the universe, they uncovered their own doom. The very magic they stole included the revelation of the apocalypse that their own actions were actively causing. It's a huge paradox.
But what about Noah, the guy who's been absolutely terrified out of his mind lying face down in the dirt this entire time? Well, Enoch gives him the ultimate relief. While the rest of the world burns, Noah is safe. The Lord knows Noah is completely clean and absolutely free of the blame concerning these secrets. Because Noah didn't mess around with the sorcery, the fascination, or that forbidden metalworking, he is separated entirely from the guilt that is actively destroying the planet.
And because he is clean, Noah is handed an incredible promise. He won't just survive, he will be actively preserved from those who dwell on the doomed earth. His lineage, his seed, is destined to be strengthened in justice for kings and great honors. And most beautifully, the text says that from Noah will proceed the fountain of the just and the holy, without number to eternity. Think about that transition. He goes from a man absolutely terrified of the shaking ground to the literal blameless foundation of a brand new humanity.
We started this journey with Noah terrified of a shaking, curved earth, a world doomed by what we now consider basic technology, like metalworking. It's such a fascinating look at how ancient minds process sudden, massive technological leaps. Which really leaves us with a provocative question to chew on. If ancient texts viewed the manipulation of metals as a world-ending secret that shook the very earth, what forbidden knowledge do we fear today? What are the technological leaps happening right now that give us that exact same sense of existential dread? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope it gave you a whole new perspective.